Hello and welcome to Skittles Saturday Suggestions. My name is Sarah Tillinghast. I'm a Platinum Certified Whole Brain Teaching Instructor, and today I want to talk to you about power rings. All right, so we all have blurters, right? I know that I do. I'm going to specifically talk about two blurters really fast, and then I'm going to talk to you about how I use these power rings in my classroom. So my first blurter is very intelligent. He's kind of figuring it out slowly, but just to give you an example, we have to give a kindergarten readiness assessment for our state requirements at the beginning of the year, and then we send the data off to the State Department. And at the beginning, he was my only one in class that knew every single alphabetic letter and their sound. So when we finished that test, just him and I one-on-one, it was, very beginning of the year, I said, "Oh, can you read?" And he looked at me and said, "No." And then this week, his group started doing blending and reading. And so I pulled him aside one day and I just said, "I'm going to write a word and see if you can figure out what the word is." He read every single one. Now, granted, they were all closed. They were all CVC words. Anyway, so he is a reader even if he's just starting out. And so as he goes throughout the day, he blurts things he knows. He's very with it, so he blurts reminders if I've forgotten something. So yeah, he is just learning to acclimate within my classroom. And I will tell you, both these blurters I'm referring to went through our pre-K program, so it'd be very interesting to see how they were last year. Anyway, my other blurter is very egocentric, which I understand kindergarten, there are still kids that are very egocentric. It's kind of a transition in kindergarten when they start to be aware of their surroundings and other people. So my one friend, we have procedures. We use the 3P. When we get to our seats, if we're doing a page together, because we're still at the part of the kindergarten year that if we are using paper and pencil tasks, it's teacher directed because they can't read instructions. So I tell them pencil box out, pencil box out, pencil box out. Then I sing a little jingle. When I get my paper, it's always the same. I pick up my pencil and I write my name. And then I say, write your name, write your name, write your name. And then the procedure in my room is once they've written their name, they hold their pencil in the air so I know they're finished. When I have the majority of the kids finished, then I start saying the directions. However, this little blurter, my second blurter, will say, "I'm not finished writing my name." Or if we get done and I'm having them clean up and he's not finished, he blurts out, "I am not done with my paper." So those are the kind of blurters I deal with all day. But how I use these power rings is during the last hour of the day. So the last hour of instruction during the day when everyone starts blurting, okay? So it's just, it's very common that's the hardest part of the day. So I do rule reviews. I do rule reviews 6 times a day because in my classroom, I do it every single time we come back into class. I know some people think that's excessive. However, I think about departmentalized teachers. They have to review every single time they're with a new class. So they're reviewing close to that many times a day as well. And the review is there for the kids to support the kids. So we come in for the last hour of the day. It's math, my last hour of instruction. We come in, we do the real review. I put on my rings. Okay, and one's green, one's red. So they know that I'm going to track. Every time a kid raises their hand for permission to speak, we're just focused on rule number 2 for these power rings, okay? So every single time they raise their hand for permission to speak, I'm going to give them a green. And I keep it on my pointer finger because it's easier for my thumb to hit the clicker to see count, okay? So it counts it up. And then excuse me, anytime a kid blurts, I say, "Class, what's rule 2? Raise your hand for permission to speak." So we still do the rule call out, but I also tally on the red there. So I do that for the hour. At the end of the hour, we also pack up. So before we start packing up, we check how we did during our last hour of the day. And if we have more green than red, then we earn starries. Right now, we just have our plain starries, so we earn starries. If we have more red than green, we've got grit. We don't quit. Now, I am going to start keeping track of the total greens I have and reds and post that. I'm going to start that next week because we're getting closer to unlocking Super Improver. So whenever if we get more greens than the day before, so if we improve on greens, raising our greens, then that can earn a star. Or once we get Super Improver unlocked, that can earn a dice roll for a Super Improver point. And then if we decrease, because that's what we want, to decrease our reds, then right now we would be getting a starry for that. Once Super Improver unlocks, we can get a dice roll for Super Improver stars. So there you have it. That's the power rings. I will put a link to where I got these. I got the link from Coach Chris Biffle. Coach Chris Biffle. And I'll put the link to where they are. You get more than green and red, but they're very, very cheap. They're not that much. And you have these other fun ones that you can either give to kids for something else. Like here, there's a random pink one that I just found really quick in my drawer. So yeah, that's the power rings. All right, so I hope you can utilize that in your last hour of instruction during the day, and have a great day. Bye-bye.